Going on? We're doing another Hell Talk. It's been freaking forever since we did one. Since I did one. Whatever. Who cares?
True.
We what's been happening? So we're in the midst of Icy Regional 400 Silver Pulp season. A couple weeks of events have gone by. I think there's only like 1 or 2 more weeks of events, and then we're gonna be on to Florida. So we got I think he's the greatest player of all time, I think, is on the call, Maverick, and, and then um, let's so Maverick, you didn't go to any, you didn't do the Silver Pulp events, but you did the Silver event, which I don't even know if
Yeah,
we talked about on an episode. Um,
I think we talked about
I think we
an
did.
episode
Okay.
after. Yeah, but yeah, I remember doing one. Yeah,
All right.
but yeah, I haven't touched the game since they said we're doing pulp. Uh, but
Hey,
you know,
there's a lot you can tell by just general attendance that there's a lot of people who are in the same boat.
yeah, I know. When I was looking at the events, I'm like, wow, that is a very low attendance number than the other um CCOs that have been going on. It's like that's crazy. But I think there's definitely there with proving that the format, I wouldn't exactly say is solved. I mean, there's lots of good nations of teams, but it definitely looks like Pog teams are very prominent in winning the events. At least
Yeah,
is how it's
and
looked on AC units.
yeah, for right now. And I think, I think, to be honest, I think for Paul, I think it's fine if, like, for a month, um, there's kind of an established set of, really good teams. Like you mentioned, the bystander teams are doing really good. I think Moon Knight teams do really good, depending on, what they're built around.
Hmm.
I think any team that has Ashley Barton on it right now does really good because Ashley Barton is just insane. She's just like Mern,
Mern
but
2.0. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I still think there's plenty of other options that are viable. I mean, like I said, we've seen Avengers teams do good. We've seen um, what's it called? Syndicate teams to do good. But yeah, and when Venom when the Venom set comes out, then that's going to completely eliminate bystander teams because I don't think
Oh,
I
100%. I
I
mean,
wouldn't risk running a bystander team with Gore the God Butcher just existing in pulp. Not only existing, but he's also a very good piece. Just even if he didn't have the ability to prevent any other character from generating bystanders, he would still be almost worth his points. Like you'd be like, oh, he's still pretty good. He's got good stats. But
yeah, yeah.
just the threat. I mean, it's like even if nobody, for some reason, nobody brings Gore, it's like, oh, like, are you gonna risk bringing a bystander team because you will just instantly lose if you go against Gore the God Butcher? Like I said,
Yeah,
I don't think it's
100%.
a risk.
I think I for pulp's sake, I think long term, um, I feel like we've had this round of ices happening, or yeah, of the regionals, and we definitely see what's prominent in pulp now. But then obviously we're gonna have rotation and other things happening um for next regionals, for if they keep doing pulp events in general, or bystanders I think are gonna fall off because of gore. But then we go back to the phase of if um Gore gets banned because he's too good in pulp, our bystander team is going to come back after that. And I'm thinking that way in the future of we have the counter to it soon after these regionals are done, but then after that, is that counter going to actually stay? And then is there going to be more talk on banning other things? Because I think that the ban list really, I think it was obvious that it needed a lot more characters on it, on not only the ban list but the restricted list. I think there has to be. I think a restricted list fix is Pulp's downsides a lot more than the ban list does, per se.
I agree, because there's a lot of figures that by themselves in a vacuum are fine. They're not unwieldy. You can deal with them, like even Moreland. Like you look at Moreland, you're like, okay, by himself, if you just say, I just outwit his invincible, and then I flurry him with Red Widow, and he's either dead from the flurry, or I rolled a 1 and a 2 on blades, then I attack for a third time and he's dead. Simple. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's as easy as it is. But when you're thinking like, oh, like he's already made a bunch of other bystanders, and his defense is gonna be like up by 3 because you're gonna be playing him with Madison and all this other stuff, and you're like, okay, now it becomes tricky because, like I said, +3 defense and multiple probs. Suddenly, that Red Widow strategy isn't as reliable as you would like it to be. But if Morlun was on the restricted list among a bunch of other characters, then then perhaps he wouldn't be able to play. Because like I think Morlun is great for a restricted list. I also think like characters like Madison are insanely strong. I think like almost every top team that plays a Madison that's insanely good. I almost think she's strong enough to be just put on the temporary ban list. I think time breakers should just be banned forever. Those are I don't understand how they even
I don't
got
know how they
overlooked.
just overlooked that. Like out of all the
Yeah,
pieces, you think that the most prominent, best piece in like modern age for like the entire time it was out is
yeah, right.
somehow not
I
banned.
mean, like
Like
even the like I said, even in when it's on modern age teams all over the place, even after it got errated, it's still insane. And you're like, why is this thing not, you know, it's I don't wild. So, but like I said, I think like just if it's an overpowered support character, just ban it. So there's no point in putting on the restricted list, because if you put on the restricted list, it's effectively banning it as well. And then the heavy hitters that are, troublesome, like for example, if you put Morlun and Bloodstorm on the restricted list, right? What is that? There you go. Now you can't play both of them. All of a sudden, that team, the bystander team, isn't as strong. So you're like, okay, well now you're gonna have to play something else. Maybe play like Khazar, which is
or
fine.
Ivy.
Like, right, or Ivy again, which is again another solid choice. That's what Andrew was playing Ivy today, and he went undefeated.
Mhm.
So, but again, you can look at those teams and be like, all right, does Ivy also need to go on the restricted list? It's like, but you make those iterations. I think they need to happen. In my opinion, like if you have if a set releases every like 2 to 3 months, then there should be an updated
An
ban
update,
restricted
yeah.
list, like in between the sets. So it's like every 2 to 3 months there should be an update. So effectively, like the new set that comes out will change the meta, and then the ban list comes, updated, and then that changes the meta, and then the next new set would change the meta, and just keep going, because we can't, with a small pool of characters, even though it is Silver Age, it's like there's only, you know, um, there's only a handful of pieces that kind of, the cream of the crop. There's only a handful of pieces that come up and say, all right, I can build
Yeah.
around this, and you either have to like bonk those guys down so that way they're more in line with the rest of the field. Because if it's like, hey, if there's a team that says, I really want to play this team, but I can't because this other obviously meta team is going to be played. Like even right now, if someone's like, I can't play a team because Moreland, if I go against Moreland, I lose. Then it's like, yeah, well then put Moreland on the restricted list. You know what I mean? And I think that's true for any character. Any character that you could say that about. If you say, oh, I can't, this guy's too good, I can't use this other team because of that piece. Just throw them on the restricted list. And I don't mean like can't use them because obviously there's always going to be characters that are
There's always going
underneath
to be
these
somewhat of a
characters.
counter.
Yeah, like right. Yeah, exactly. Every character, they can have a counter to it, but if you are if the
If
if the
it's like
counter
Legacy Thanos,
your team, yeah.
where you're going to show up to the event and then lose because it's inevitably going to get played, then that character should be restricted.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's the other thing too. Like I think um, you know, like super tent poles like that, I think Legacy Thanos is fine if you just say you don't play him at full. If you say play him at 150, he's fine. So you
Mhm.
could just say his 300 point line is banned, and I think then that's good. Uh, but but yeah, I think I think what probably most other people are thinking is based on the reveals that we've seen so far from Venom is that Pulp in come April when the Venom set comes out is gonna be soldier theme teams or maybe not a theme team but soldier because again
Oh man, everything with Flurry.
yeah I it's to me it's kind of wild where I think you just find again you use Falcon to send somebody out like it could be Red Widow or whoever have them flurry somebody and hopefully one of the people that they're flurrying has mystics and then Moon Knight comes in hits them and then flurries them again or flurries somebody else, and that's a really
Mhm.
good combo. Uh, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. But that's what I think is going to be the team because, like I said, with bystander teams going out, I think you are free to just play a soldier team. You don't have to, you don't even need to put gore on it. Just assume that other people are enough. Other players are going to run gore, and then that the players that want to use bystander teams are
They're
going to
playing it for
be
you. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And like I said, even if nobody plays it, it's almost like remember the days when we used to have events with where Legacy Thanos, was the guy
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. It was like if
Legacy
you
Thanos.
yeah.
And then we'd all show up on the day of the event and no one would be playing Legacy Thanos. And it's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is just all right.
And it's kind of like that. Where you're like, oh man, does my team beat Moreland? It's like, yeah, but no one's gonna bring Moreland because Gore exists. And like, but no one's bringing Gore. And you're like, yeah, but him just existing means that you have to change your team. You can't play Moreland anymore. So we'll see, but I also agree that characters like Gore, that's a restricted list character. You know what I mean? Like an ability like that is insane. So I don't think you should be able to have an ability like that on your team plus a bunch of other stuff. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I think soldier teams are gonna pop off with Moon Knight. But again, also Moon Knight, he should be on the restricted list. Like that's he's really good. I mean, or maybe even temporary ban list. I don't know. I don't
The
know
pieces
because
that just do so much for their points, like I think the primes examples again is Falcon. Um Perdegaton obviously is another one that does too much for his points. It's like those types of figures I think should automatically be restricted or banned because it is just like it's doing. I feel like the goal of Pulp was to make it an easy format to play like they wanted and easy to get into, inexpensive. That's the other thing. Bringing it to Silver Age changed the inexpensivity just a little bit, but I mean it's still fairly inexpensive. I mean, so many people have Falcons that are just sitting around in their house. I mean, I think I have like five of them still, you know. But I think the goal in WizKids' eyes when they were making it was commons and uncommons aren't meant to do or in rares are not like these crazy like pieces that do so much, but then they end up making them do so much. Very few select. While a bunch of them are just like, well, it's got TK and this piece has charge. It's like the very simple ones is how I think that their thought process of making pulp was supposed to be. And I think the inevitability of building teams obviously is not going to be that case. So I think taking those characters that do so much, that are making it, should be split into multiple characters on a team instead of having this one character that does everything. Is how I think pulp should be for using the restricted list. Is make it take away those characters that do everything and make it to where you now have to actually like split that up between one or two characters. I mean two or three. You know what I mean?
No, I agree, and especially like we were saying before, I think if that character in question is a support based character, 100% just ban them because that's um, the figures that are ubiquitously on teams. They're just everywhere. Are the support characters? You know, it's basically like, okay, I have the best support characters in the game that work on every team, and then what do I want to play around them? And then there's like that's when you get to choose. But I agree. I think it's like, hey, why not get rid of those characters such that now even the support characters you're playing are the best support characters for the rest of your team. They're not just the best support characters, period. You know, they're just like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for example, like I mean, and people are you would normally play this character anyway on this team, but it's like if you're playing a Sinister Syndicate team and you're saying, let's assume Perdegaton is legal in Pulp for a second. Let's just
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, then I mean, and that's another thing. Technically, in modern Pulp, Perdegaton is legal. He's not on the ban list, which is retarded, but whatever. Even it's like the rules committee was like, "Hey, Perdegaton is banned in Pulp. We're gonna say that." And then when the real ban list comes out, he's not on it. And you're like, "What? This is stupid." Uh, but they're like, "Well, that's because he's already on the Silver Age ban list." And you're like, "Yeah, but that's not that's not how it should be." Uh, but uh, but yeah, so if you're playing a Sinister Syndicate team, for example, and it's like, oh, Perdegaton's legal, but you're like, hey, you know what? I might want to play like Norman Osborn or someone else. You know what I mean? Like some other
Mm-hmm.
character or another character that like that says, hey, every Sinister Syndicate character gets an additional power or something, and that's how that team works. So I think like where there's actual thought process in building the team versus just okay, Madison's the best, Perdegaton's the best, and just that's it. Like they're going to be on every team all the time. Timebreaker's the best. You're like okay, like uh, how did I was talking to another guy earlier about it, and it was like yeah, it's like it changes the thought of building instead of from okay, it's 400 points. It's like, well, it's actually, 300 and whatever points because these 3 to 5 support characters are automatically on every team. And you're like, oh, okay, well, then I'm not. It's similar to in modern when Scott Porters were legal. It's like, well, it's actually 250 points modern because you're going to be playing both Scott Porters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. But like I said, I just think because the pool of like quote unquote obviously useful characters are so small. I think that regardless of what changes they make, they just need to happen frequently so that it never gets stale. Because
Yeah.
I think after next week, if it's like, oh hey look, bystander teams are doing well again. Moon Knight's doing well again. Ashley Barton is doing well again. It's like, okay, like we get it, you know? we don't have to and then when we go to Florida, it's gonna happen again. And Adepticon might be a little bit different because they removed for that event specifically, they removed the 200 point silver floor. So we might see different things, but let's be real, is it going to be that different? Probably not.
I don't
But
think so. I
I
mean,
mean,
most of the team is like, if I'm correct, I mean, I don't, I'm not gonna 100% this. I'm not looking at the teams right now, but I believe most of the teams were silver, anyways. I mean, there was,
yeah,
a
and
good
teams
chunk of
with
modern, but I mean,
teams with Moon Knight as well. Moon Knight automatically fills with 200 silver points.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
so Moon Knight teams are unchanged virtually, and it's like, okay, so is there really just an all modern team that's better than the team that you're already using that includes like Silver Age things like Timebreaker and Madison? No, like you'd be like, no, I still want to play Timebreaker and Madison. It's still good. So, um, so again, I don't feel like those teams really change, but we'll see. Uh, I just think, like I said, regardless, after Florida, I'm gonna and while I'm at Florida, I'm gonna be begging David. I'll be like, yo, you gotta seriously, like, I will even volunteer to be the dude to be like, please let me work with a group of some players and restructure. We'll look over we got HC units. We can look at the results of every event. See, look at the meta, see who won, see the win percentages, see the play percentages, all of that. Because we need this format to change regardless. It doesn't have to be like an quote unquote improvement. Hopefully it is, but it just needs to
Mhm.
change at least every 2 to 3 months from a ban and restricted standpoint so that people aren't playing the same thing again. So, because
And
again,
like we kind of said at the beginning, I think the other thing is there's not a lot of play. There's a lot of players that aren't feeling pulp. They just don't want to play it. Um, and I think a big fact to that is, are we going? Is there going to be mainstream pulp events? Still more of them. After it's all said and done for it, this round of pulp stuff, are we going to really be going back to pulp now that we see that a lot of players don't, quite a few, I'm not going to say a lot, but quite a few players didn't show up for these and the attendance were lower. Is pulp going to stick around as a mainstream thing, or is it going to be just another side thing that is kind of like silver where it shows up every once in a while, but it's not super dominant, like it is right now.
yeah, and
That's
I
that,
I
that's
agree.
another thing that I want to bring up.
So I'm not surprised that the attendance is so low for these events. I think regardless of what the format is, if it's not 300 modern and it's like a debut format, there's no such thing. You can't make a debut format that's going to be as or more popular than 300 modern because the way that pieces are designed is around 300 modern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're never going to get as much interest in that initially. But if pulp, I think pulp, like I said, if it has enough frequent changes, that is going to be the key to that format because it's oftentimes in modern age and silver, but it's technically even more silver because silver doesn't rotate. But in modern age, for example, like right now, you'll get what I believe to be a vocal minority, but it might, I may be wrong about this, but you'll get a bunch of players that will be like, I'm not even going to show up to modern age events because I hate Beetlejuice. I think, and it's like, okay, I can totally see that argument, see where those people are coming from. And so effectively what they will do is just remove themselves from the modern event meta for 1 to 2 years because they're like, I'm not doing it. If they're not addressing Beetlejuice, he ruins the game for me. And uh, but again, because modern 300 modern is the powerhouse format, it's kind of like, yeah, you might lose 5 to 10% of your players because of a controversial figure, but the rest of them are still going to show up anyway.
Mhm.
Versus like pulp, it's like, yeah, you might lose like half of your players because they don't like a certain thing about the format. But if the format is changing every 2 to 3 months, or even every like month and a half, if it's like set comes out month and a half later, ban restricted list, month and a half later set. You know what I mean? If it's every, say, 5 to 6 weeks, say 6 weeks.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
it's frequent, but I think the other part of that is it needs to be balanced. That's another
yeah,
reason
of
behind it
course,
is
yeah.
not only does it
The
have to have
changes have to be
frequent
in.
changes, it has to have very balanced changes. Like it has to feel like a balanced format. And and I agree that's why everyone goes to 300 monitor. It's just balanced. It's balanced that way in clicks. But if someone could really truly sit down and get pulp to be balanced like 300 modern is, I could totally see it being a actually good format and not just a thrown together, here you go format. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree, but I think, like I said, the important thing about not not only does frequent changes keep the format fresh in the sense of, well, hey, you're not playing the same thing every time. It to that balance point, it's like, imagine a perfect state of pulp where there are dozens of different viable competitive teams. I mean, I think that's kind of the best case, in any format. If there's
Hmm.
dozens of, like say let's say 20 or more. Like that's a ridiculous number to have 20 or more different viable teams in a format. I don't even know if Silver Age has that many like viable competitive teams.
I Silver Age has more than 20. It's just because most people don't want to buy certain figures or certain things. It definitely
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
look per
Yeah,
se that
yeah, you're
way.
probably
But
right. But
but
still,
definitely
let's
like
let's imagine,
modern.
yeah.
Modern's not even at 20, but I feel like pulp could hit 20 just because of how if you truly balance it, so many characters could be interchangeable, unlike modern where it's kind of like you're kind of set in certain ways. But I mean, in pulp it feels like so many characters kind of can do the same exact thing, just a slightly different and variated. And I feel like pulp is a format that could easily hit up to 20 something plus, viable teams if it's balanced correctly.
Right. And I think the best way to get there, like I said, is with quick, short, iterative changes, and where none of the changes are like sweepingly large. But if they say, hey, every few months, like say every 6 to 8 weeks, if there are, let's just say a handful, like say five or less characters that are either added to the ban list, the temporary ban list, added to the list, moved from the removed from the list, every cycle, about maybe five, or it could be more, but I said, around that number, where versus saying, hey, like, um, how do I want to say this? Okay, going back to my original point, like, let's say pulp is in a perfect spot, but let's say that perfect spot is exactly 1 year from now. So let's say 1 year from now, pulp will be amazing. It'll be balanced. There'll be a bunch of teams. It's like, okay, would you rather have pulp make the change that gets it to be perfect all in one go 364 days from now, or would you rather have, say, hey, every 6 to 8 weeks there's going to be smaller changes, and then the sum of all the changes from now until a year from now, we'll still get to that same result of a, quote unquote perfect pulp format. So I think the small changes overall is just better because it'll also keep the format fresh versus having the format go completely stale. Kind of, I think after Florida, this pulp is like kind of, yeah, it's the same teams every time. I mean, you can play different teams, but you are aware of the heavy hitter teams.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like, do you want to just keep those heavy hitter teams now, a year from now? Like I don't think that's gonna be as interesting as, hey, like I said, after Florida, here's like five characters. Let's first of all, like, make a restricted list. Make pulp have a full clan list that doesn't force you to reference another ban list from a different age. I think that's well. I don't think regardless if it's modern or silver age, like Perdegaton should be banned. That's you know what I mean? It's a ridiculous thought to even suggest that, oh, and it's only in silver age is where Perdegaton's too good. In modern age, nah, he's not that great. Like, what do you mean there's less characters in modern? Like, if anything, he's better in modern. You know? So
Yeah, especially when you look at 90% of the damn teams. I mean, shiz. Like,
yeah. So there's definitely clear changes that need to be made. But again, like, would you rather have those changes happen slowly over time in small increments? You want to wait a year for them to say, okay, after a year, we've gone through every single figure and we've made a perfect ban list. And it's like, I would rather you just like, again, look at
slowly released it out. I mean,
yeah,
even if
look
they
at the
slowly
stuff that's
released
doing
it
good.
out too,
Yeah,
it also helps balancing it as for testing it out. You get so many more opinions than just a group of people that are testing it to figure out the balance. I mean, like if you slowly release and be like, "Hey, we're taking feedback. If you want to take time, a couple games of this, it's like it helps with the balancing of it too. Releasing it all slowly instead of just at
yeah,
one point in time."
yeah. And I know WizKids did ask for like people to send feedback about silver and pulp and stuff. Like I said, I still plan on doing that. Um, I hope that they're still taking an event after Florida because I figure it's going to be the biggest pulp event is going to be in Florida. So hopefully after that, then they'll still be taking feedback. I don't know if my feedback's necessarily going to change from what it is right now, but it's definitely it's definitely something that I think with CCO saying that they're committed to making this a good format. I just want I want them to understand that I believe it requires constant like incremental
Attention.
change. Yeah, you can't just go, "Oh, well, we'll wait for the next set to come out and then we'll do." It's like, no, like it doesn't, it doesn't take a genius to look and say, "Oh, Gore the God Butcher is going to change the pulp meta just by existing." He never even has to get played. Just by existing, he'll change it. So, what do we do about that? And like I said, look at the soldier symbiote guy. What's his name? Anybody remember what his name is?
No
Uh,
clue.
Captain, I
Rex,
want to say, or it's either
Rex something or Rex. I don't know what his
Yeah,
name
might as
let
well
is.
me
call it
pull it
Rick.
up. Let's see if I can pull it up.
PBR.
No, it's like I don't know, but the guy that makes soldiers into symbiotes and
Yeah,
then
yeah, and then he makes them flurry. Yeah, yeah,
whatever his name. Like that's going to be really good. And you look at, like I said, you see that Moon Knight teams are already doing well. What do you think's going to happen? Moon Knight teams are going to even get even better. So like you can see that coming. So I don't think you need to take the current mindset of Wiz Kids is, well, we got to wait for people to play the figures. Then we have to see if they're winning with them. And then we have to see if they're winning too much with them. And then we have to see if they're winning too impulsive way that is like, I don't know,
That's a
against their
flaw
philosophy or
itself.
whatever. It's and it just takes too long. It takes way too
Yeah.
long.
yeah.
All that. It's
Yeah.
like,
In their words, if it's against the spirit of the game, and it's like
yeah,
the like, come on, like we could actually have fun if you just actually did something instead of just sit there and wait for this massive change that inevitably by the time it comes out there's going to be new sets that you didn't even look into yet, and it's like, cool, so that big change is now just wrecked, completely wrecked because there's these sets that you didn't do in that change, so now those sets are going to be at the top, and now we have to wait for a whole nother time for you to rectify
I
those
just blame
sites.
Patrick Frazier at this point. Just blame Pat. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? They hired you to do this.
Yeah, no, but again, it's just I think the philosophy of like, well, we can't ban something or we can't restrict something because we didn't even give people a chance to use it yet. And it's like, you know,
Well, who was the idiot that
again,
designed it to make it that broken? You know,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
that's
Like
where I
again,
want to
like
start.
if it's an obviously busted support piece, then and it goes on every single team, that should be banned, 100%. But like I said, like this, the symbiote soldier guy, does he go on every team? No, he actually goes on kind of like one. It's one theme team. Like that's all he goes on. It's soldier and symbiote, and he wants so. And there's a lot of good symbiote soldiers in the same set as well. But like I said, when you say like, hey, should he exist also with Moon Knight? Like, probably not. Probably not. Like, he's still good if you just play him with other soldiers. He's still just as good. But you don't need Moon Knight for that. But yeah, I'm on the fence of even there being a floor. I really want to see, like I said, I want to see the teams that are brought to Adepticon, because if the teams that are brought to Adepticon aren't that different than the teams that people are already playing, then that to me would be evidence enough to show that the 200-point silver floor is useless. It doesn't need to exist.
If anything, I actually think it hurts it, because it's insanely easy to obtain modern stuff for like very very cheap. While silver stuff, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more of a premium for it. I mean, it's still not crazy hard to obtain, but it's not like I could just walk up to any player in my play group and be like, "Hey, do you have this?" Especially when your play group ain't like super huge or anything. It's like if you go to having to buy 50% of your team on eBay, like I think that just kind of feels against the format. What the goal of the format was is for it to be super easy and obtainable, and I think removing the floor completely brings it back to how it should, where it's any player could come and play this at any point in time, new,
I
old,
actually,
anyone.
yeah, I completely agree with that, because especially if the goal with pulp, as WizKids kind of stated, it's like, hey, it's an easy to enter format. You don't have to get any crazy super rare stuff, any expensive stuff like that. So I agree. It's completely, it contradicts that principle to say, hey, let's say I'm a brand new player and I go, oh, you said pulp is the best format for new players. It's the easiest format to get into. Okay, I want to do pulp. So I'm going to go to my local store and I want to purchase a HeroClix product. Well, every pack that they have on the shelf, generally speaking, I can't speak for every store. I can speak for I really go to. Almost every they have on the shelf is modern age. I have been to stores that do sell, they still have silver age product on the shelf. But
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's kind of like, oh look, here is a brick of HeroClix. I would like to buy this brick of HeroClix and then maybe buy a couple, singles or whatever from your, uncommon common shelf. And then I can put together a pulp team. You're like, well, unfortunately, all of our singles are like modern age. So that means like you would have to buy a silver age brick of HeroClix, which again, not every store has, because that would mean that they've been sitting on this brick for years. And so, like you said, okay, well then I got to go to eBay. And is that really that's not new player friendly to say, hey, in order to do this, kind of got to go to eBay. You know, it's, that's not. I don't
Yeah,
think
you're
that's
not
intended.
you're not lying there, man. You're not lying, because
Yeah,
that was
and it's like the other thing is like this format also shouldn't be requiring people to buy bricks. You know, be like and you're good, or even just buy some singles that fit the points. It should never be you got to spend at least $100 to get into this.
Yeah, because I think the problem with that is the cost of single figures, like the meta figures, like for pulp is going to be expensive. For example, right? I spent almost like $20 for a manifold, and I was like, that to me is too much to make a team. And I didn't even know the team was going to be good, but that was like part of what I noticed, even like in today's event. A couple of people, were saying that it kind of sucks that I don't have the older stuff that people would have today because they weren't playing, back then, and they said this is ridiculous. Some of the stuff that like was new to them, I didn't know what it was. I was like, Island does. I was like, I have no clue what the rules for that, but I guess there's a piece that does, whatever. But yeah, it's not new player friendly. I will say that. I think they should remove the 200 points for silver. I think they should just remove that. I don't think that's worth it because it is not new player friendly. Not a person can't just get in there and just play, but it's whatever at that point.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
I said, I think this is
100%.
all really good, feedback, and I think it's kind of like we have personal experience and data to back it up. So
Yeah, let's just
I
send
don't
the
know.
whole recording to Wizard.
I agree because even that, like,
That's
okay, they're gonna look at the top meta teams, but it's like some teams, like some pieces, like are being overlooked. I think maybe you guys talked about it before I got here, but and I was telling you before, like Ashley Barton, like no one's really playing her as much. I think she's insanely good for 50 points. There's a couple sleeper pieces too. So, but I think
Yeah, yeah, we
I
might.
agree with you.
She's
Definitely
insane.
agree. No, I'm saying like I agree with you. I think there should be like every 6 to 8 weeks they should update the ban list. But who's going to be consistent enough to do that? That's going to be the question. But I
Matt
think
threw
it
his
should be.
name in earlier. We got the guy right
No,
here.
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna try to tell, like, when I'm in Florida, I'm gonna tell David. I'll be like, hey, Newmark, like, I wanna be a part of, whatever. Somebody said, to be a fresh format, and and while it may not be perfect, and while every change that we make over time may not be beneficial, like, immediately, like, hey, we might put someone on, the temporary ban list, and we might say, hey, that was a mistake. They shouldn't have been there. But that's why it's a temporary ban list, because again, 2 months later, we can remove them from the temporary ban list. Because it might say, hey, the actual problem was with a different figure, and so we can put that different figure like on the restricted list or something. And if they're on the restricted list, then we can take this other one off the ban list. And but again, it has to happen frequently enough so
To
that people,
keep the format
oh, hey,
fresh.
like, yeah. And it's like I'm bringing the same team that I played last week and that I played today. I'm bringing it to Florida because it did well last week. It did well this week. Like, if the format's not going to change between now and Florida. So what? Like, it's gonna, statistically, it's gonna do well in Florida. So I'm gonna bring it there. But do I want to keep playing the same team? No. In fact, this is the first time in the over 20 years that I've played HeroClix that I've used the exact same team more than once. The first time ever. Because it's like, even though I can think of a bunch of different pulp teams that are good, just like how we said, like, I don't have any Silver Age stuff. I don't want to have to go, every time I change my team, I don't want to have to go, oh, I actually have to go to eBay and buy stuff.
Yeah,
Like, even if it's just $5 here, $10 here, it's annoying to think,
it just
in
adds
order for
up.
me to change, I have to go to eBay.
Yeah. That's the biggest problem right now. It's like it's not. I don't think it's new player friendly. I think it's just it kind of you guys already said this, but I just don't think it is. The, if you have to spend more than $5 on a common uncommon, then you got the secondary market valuing. I think one piece that came to mind was the War Machine, right? The rare from Black
Oh,
Panther
that
was
guy
like
skyrocketed.
Yeah, that guy skyrocketed. I have a couple of those, but I'm saying like that's a problem right there. Like, there's no reason why. Well, the figure shouldn't be valued that high to begin with. But if you want to stay competitive in pulp, you have to unfortunately spend the money at that point. But I just don't think this is budget friendly
Yeah,
for the wallet. But that's
exactly.
just my
And like we were saying before, it's like, oh, you're playing a Moon Knight team, well, you're automatically playing War Machine, automatically.
yeah. You got no
You know?
choice.
And so
Yeah,
and
you're
and like
dumb. It's
that. And
not.
if you're
Sorry.
right, exactly. And so if because there's if you're like, I want to play Moon Knight, like, okay, here's a bunch of other pieces that are kind of auto include. Like you're either playing Mystical or you're playing Soldier. Or maybe a mix of both. You might want to play Madison and War Machine. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But then War Machine has to be on a theme team. I understand. So, um, but regardless, it's kind of like it's like if your team almost builds itself because again, like I was saying before, like War Machine is just a support character, and it's like if he's just too good, just ban him. Just put him on a temporary ban list because who cares? Like even if it goes, hey, 6 months from now, he's not really that bad. We just then unban him. But when he's like the obvious include of a team, maybe he's worth banning. But again, since he only works for a specific keyword, I think that's fine. It's not like he's on every team, but
No, but
it's
I think
from a
also too. I
from a
was gonna
cost
say that
standpoint,
it's good that it's
he has to be.
It's good that it's Highlander because holy crap, having multiples is not good. But uh, no, it's just, I honestly think that that's a problem. And also, like you were talking about having like a temporary ban list or even like a restricted list would help too. Because there's no way you should have two figures like for example. Well, I want to say like Morloon and Bloodstorm. I don't think that's too oppressive because I think that
No,
defeats the
I
purpose.
think I think that's actually a great example. I actually brought that up before. Just even if that's
Mhm.
not correct, like even if in the long run, Morloon and Bloodstorm are fine together, I think initially, like those are two great pieces. Just throw them both on the restricted list because they are played together so frequently. And then if you're only playing one of them, right? You might say like how Andrew was doing. He's like, you know what? Hey, I'm not instead of playing Morloon for 80 points, I'll play Poison Ivy for 80 points, and I'll still play Bloodstorm for the 60, and I can still use the bystander team, right? Well, like I said, assuming Gore is not banned or whatever. But then it's still possible. You can just play a different piece that uses bystander generation. But when you see two pieces that are always used together, I think that's a very clear indicator that they should just both be on the restricted list.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing with that. It's like you're not gonna hit the support pieces because I don't think like for example like Dr. Leah Gregor. That's not a piece you would just say, oh, she needs to be there because she doesn't really do much. I mean, besides the bystanders, but if you restrict the one, I mean, I guess this still helps, but it's just I think like I said, like you were talking before. It's I think every 6 to 8 weeks has to be updated, addressed, whatever the case may be, because everything shifts at one point because a new set drops and it has to be addressed. But
Yeah,
but
and
it takes
especially
someone to really, it takes someone to be frequent and on top of it. That's the other problem. You got to be.
Yeah, you can live up to the name, man. Savior of HeroClix again, right there.
was that
The
my name?
Savior of Pulp.
It won't be good
That's
Matt
gonna
no
be.
more.
We're gonna get you a
Like
shirt and
what was
everything that says Savior of Pulp.
what did that come from? Was that just from you, Maverick, who said the savior? I thought
Yeah, it
who
was
said
from.
that?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
me
okay.
from
Jesus.
when I think it was the first regional you ran, something like
Gotcha.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
We were talking. I brought it up or some shit, but yeah, no, Savior of Pulp. Right here.
Every time I hear like the savior or something, I always that makes me think of the nickname that I gave to Legacy Lockjaw with like the Jesus of HeroClix. He's like, He'll carry your team to victory. He'll die for your sins. But
Oh my God, you
but
told
you'll
that to Alex. I remember that one. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I was
the
like Lockjaw,
almighty
he's with Jesus,
Lockjaw.
man.
That's
Yeah.
that's the problem that I have. That's the other thing I had a problem with, man. You like these legacy. I think we were talking about this earlier, dude. Like with the legacy cards. Like I have 2 legacy Lockjaws I can never use. I can only use one. But you have to. I guess that keeps the format good for Silver Age. But whatever.
I got 2 of so much. Like, bro, I got 2 Skytime. I got 2 Lockjaws as well. I mean, like, it's just it is what it is. You know, they had their time to shine, and now it's now only one of them gets to shine. You know, but even then, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be playing Lockjaw ever again. So
I mean, with enough changes to the ban and restricted list, it could be good again. But again, I don't think it's very easy to just get to that finalized state in like 1 or 2 iterations. Because even like the Silver Age that we know now, Silver Age now, I think is very clearly, obviously better than Silver Age was 2 years ago. But that took
yeah, because they opened it up to
multiple
silver, 100%.
changes. Yeah, but it took multiple changes for it to get there. It didn't just say, "Oh, hey, they made they made 1 round of changes to Silver Age, and now it's perfect. Now it's good." It's like, no, it took several different ones, and I think it's going to have to be the same thing with Pulp. But Pulp just has to be even quicker because the pool of obviously usable characters is much smaller, and players will figure it out. They'll, you know what I mean? Like you have effectively a month of IC regionals, and then a couple weeks later you have Florida. So we'll just stretch it to say 2 months. In 2 months, the meta for Pulp is, I'll use quote unquote solved. It's not solved in the sense that there is one best team. Period. I don't think there's that, but known. There's a handful of known teams that are statistically stronger than the rest. And I think that just, even if that, even if, how would I say this? Let's just go for, for an example. So the number of really strong teams now, I think, is like 6 or fewer, I think, for Pulp. Because there's a couple different teams. If you look at teams all kind of theme, I guess, core theme, then it's easier. So if you have like bystander teams, you have Moon Knight teams, you have Ashley Barton teams, and you have, let's see,
I feel
Sinister
like Ashley
Syndicate.
Barton could fit into like any team though.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but playing Ashley Barton generally means there's other things you're using. I
Yeah,
don't think I guess like you're right that she can kind of go on any team, but generally speaking, if you're playing Ashley Barton, you usually you want to use a defend piece. Usually,
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie,
I
because
man.
agree.
Having the 22 defense, protected out wits, and then you can't possibly modify your attack. It helped a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I
right,
didn't
but
think
it's
it was
like
gonna be that good, but in theory, it sounded good.
but you're absolutely right, Maverick, in the sense like you can use Ashley Barton on bystander generation teams. You can use Ashley Barton not on bystander generation teams, but usually
She's
there's also
flexible
like a
anywhere.
defense. And then like I said, there's Sinister Syndicate. There's really good Avengers teams. I think that's only like what we're up to like 5 different kind of core themes right now. So let's say maybe there's like a 6th or 7th one.
Yeah, but
So
I mean,
again,
like, there's definitely more prominent ones out of that bunch
yeah,
as well. Though.
like
That's the big thing.
even if Pulp for the rest of time only has 6 or 7 good teams, if those teams change to a different set of 6 or 7 teams every month and a half, because like, hey, if a set comes out, the teams change, and then the ban list and the teams change, and if those are like a different set of 6 teams every single time, I think that would also be relatively healthy because it's like, hey, look,
At least
at
it's
s-
different.
at one point in time, every character in your pulp collection will be usable. You just don't really know when. It's like so you'll be able to use everything just at different points of the year. It's almost like it's like every piece is secretly Calendar Man. It's just these
Pieces
are good.
That's messed up. But yeah, you're right. Because the other thing I was gonna say, like that, like Ashley Barton's, splashable and mostly, I guess, and I would say she's splashable in any team really. But Blue Marvel's another figure that I think is splashable because oh my god, the one game against Damien helped out a lot with the Pulse Wave because I didn't have to deal with the Mystics. Pulse Wave is very strong in Pulp. That's the other thing too, and running through blocking is also crucial. But no, I agree. There's a couple figures that are just splashable and just in any team, really.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have the core, like the team that Ryan was playing today. I was joking with him because I was like, "Hey, look, his team was 100% Silver Age. There was no modern age game elements on it." And I was like, "Hey, look, it's the Silver Age team that uh got top cut at Worlds 2 years ago." And the thing is, like, it's still good. And like you mentioned, it's like, what does it got on it? Oh, it's you know, it's like Orb and Scarlet Witch and uh, let's see, hold on, my sister is asking for the
Social Security.
no, the Netflix,
What's your
my
last
net,
4 digits of that?
yeah, right, exactly, my Netflix code. So let me send this to her. Let's see, it is blah 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 blah. Okay, let's see, all right.
Well, Virus has
So,
been uploaded.
sure.
Yeah,
But you're right.
there's
I mean,
malware
like
on your device
Falcon,
now.
yeah, Falcon, Blue Marvel, Falcon, Red Widow. It's like, to me, I think those are also pieces that it's like that are great for like a temporary ban list because I feel like they're not oppressive in the sense that they break the game, but they are just so good and so consistent, and uh, it's like kind of like it's one of those things like, why isn't Sakari an Iron Man or uh Sky Tyrant like band? Like, we've seen enough of them. They've won enough events. Have to keep winning. Like, do they? But
Well, it's the same argument like that I've been saying. It's like, why is Maggot still on the restricted list if everything's Highlander? You gonna play one.
yeah,
That's the argument. Like he has no
that's
reason.
that's
Why
a
it's like
yeah.
he's still on there and he still have Connor Silver Surfer off the restricted list. That makes no sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that made no sense. Yeah, taking him off the
Like
like what do
Maggot
you
doesn't
like?
do as much as if you had multiples. I mean, that's
because
the only way he was very very good.
they removed they took Necron off the restricted list. Is that correct?
Well, that makes
On which one? Which format?
uh
For Silver Age. For
For normal,
Necron is
I don't.
yeah, Necron is banned in Pulp, and that's fine. I think he should be. But
well, Necron
I
should
don't
be
think
banned in
I
Pulp.
don't know what a written. Yeah, no, there was a Silver Age Necron. Yeah, I played against the Black Lantern team.
yeah, because I remember there being a Necron and a Black Shirt Porter that like copied the Black Lantern, keyword.
Yeah. I remember Magneto bombing a team. Yeah.
Yeah. So so again, right. And the reason why Necron was on the restricted list originally is because, like I said,
That
because there wasn't.
Eternity, I think that was the other one, and Silver Age. It was the that 2x2, the one that has all the keywords.
Yeah,
Well,
Living
yeah,
Tribunal, which I mean,
yeah,
Living
got
Tribunal.
errated, got banned
yeah,
by itself right away. Like that. Yeah, that thing was insanely stupid. But
yeah. But yeah, I should really write these things down because I think, like I said, these are really good ideas. I got to bring them to Florida.
He's gonna wear
Um,
suits and make his case in Florida.
So I
Bro,
have a
wear a
question for you
suit. How
guys.
much? No, man. You're gonna be lucky I'm wearing any clothes at all. Geez, I gotta make space in my bag, man. I'm gonna be
Steve's gonna get
front
excited
I'm
for
and
not
that
gonna be
one.
showing up in a
Shirtless.
speedo, and that's it. All
exactly.
that fit. It's all that fit,
Yeah.
guys.
Speedo
Gonna
on the
be just
airplane.
Gonna show up like Steve with the cut.
oh
I'll
yeah.
never forget that, man. That was
I
funny.
I'll cut all my shirts in half because it saves twice the space. Like
Uh, Steve showed up with the teddy bear out, dog. Like,
It
yeah.
wasn't even a clean cut, man. It looked like a hobo outfit.
Yeah, I know. He had that Winnie the Pooh going on, man.
Oh shit! Looking for some honey.
Winnie the Pooh.
Hit him
Oh,
with
Oh man,
oh
Winnie
man,
the Pooh after
that
Christopher
that
Robin
day
left.
was interesting. That was an interesting day.
But I wanted to ask, because Mugga, you've only been to one pulp event, right?
Yeah, this is the first one.
So starting with you, how did you? I wouldn't exactly say how did you like the event per se. I'd say how did you like the actual gameplay of playing pulp right now? What is your like? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Like how did you feel actually playing pulp right now?
Uh, I don't like having 10+ characters on a map. I don't think that's fun. Overall, I like Matt, what we were talking before. It just needs to be worked on because it just seems like the repetitiveness is there. But um, overall, yeah, it just needs to be worked on. It wasn't bad, but I don't know. I don't know how else to word it because it's one of those weird formats um, that I would have to play again to really give you a better answer than what I'm giving now.
Okay, so then going to Matt. So how was your opinion on how you felt after playing in your first pulp event and then after the second?
About the same. Because well, my results were literally the same. I got second place twice. Woohoo! But I even though I would say like the things that I enjoyed about the team that I used, I recognize that some of those things like are too strong for the format. Like I said, we already mentioned time breakers. Time breakers to me should obviously be banned, but I do enjoy using them because I feel like they, from a kind of like a puzzle solving standpoint, if at the beginning of the turn you're like, okay, what do I need to do? It's like I need to do X. Okay, I need to do this guy this much damage, and how do I do it? It's kind of okay. Well, I need to move this guy over here and this guy over here, and it's like how am I able to do that? It's like, oh well, time breakers just kind of solve that problem. Like, oh yeah, I'll just swarm a dude with time breakers, shoot him 4 squares over here, and there you go. It solves everything. And it's
It's
even
funny that
more.
you mentioned that, man. It's really funny you mentioned that. Andrew didn't do that against me with the defend. Like, and I feel like he should have did that. Like when I had a 22 defense, walked up a time breaker and just poofed me away.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I did ever
That's how
play
you beat
you,
that
that's how I would. That's the only thing I would do. I would say, okay, well, I have
Yoink.
to. Yeah, that's what that's what I did to Andrew both times in the Wisconsin event.
I
It's
mean, he
because
still
he was
won, but I mean, that's what
well,
I
he
would
he
have
didn't
done.
he didn't. Well, oh yeah, he won against you. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he beat me the first time in Wisconsin, and then I beat him the second time. So the
And this time he beat you in a roll off.
yeah, exactly, right. I rolled an 8 and it wasn't good enough. We rolled 2 8s because the first time I rolled an 8, we tied. And then we rolled again and I got an 8 again and everybody got a 9. So I'm like, it is what it is. The but yeah, I think like I said, time breakers, as you mentioned, Miguel, they somewhat make defend teams just they make them not work. It's kind of like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm playing defend, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, but I'm playing a 5-point time breaker. You
yeah, that's what I'm
lose.
saying. A 5-point time breaker. Well, that's why I was playing like the the blue marble because I was like, well, if he wants to walk up the Timebreaker, I have to get the. I'll just pulse wave the team, and that's generally what I was doing. But I mean, it
Yeah,
really
but
didn't
the
really.
thing is, like with time
That's
breakers,
the idea. Yeah,
you
I
can
know.
put one time breaker on one side of the map and make one and throw it on the other side of the map, and
Well,
you can't
yeah,
get
no,
both of them. Well, yeah,
even like I agree with that, but the what I was gonna do at that point was go on the 16 by 20, like the long map.
yeah.
That was the strategy that I had. Well, like if he's gonna chuck a time breaker this way and leave one back there, that's a long haul. Just trying to make another time breaker. But yeah, that was the strategy behind that team. It was like, well, if I played against you, I would have won on a long map, and then that's how I kind of would have played it out at that point. But yeah,
I mean,
tiebreaker.
because like I said, against a strategy like that, it's if you are sitting back, then I just the Moreland team just throws bystanders out, and even if you KO it, it's like that's fine. Like eventually there'll be a turn where you'll miss, and
You
then
know
the turn
what
that you miss,
figure
then
that really didn't show up, and I was very surprised? The Cosmic Ghost Rider, the one that's 12 attack, and then it's like if he hit, I
The
think I
one
don't
that
know
makes
what.
you like essentially immobile, right?
Yeah, I didn't see or like well, oh, it's not a mobile. Like if you move, you take damage, but I didn't see no one play that. I thought
To
that's a
me,
good
that's
figure.
immobile kind of. Yeah.
Well,
I think
yeah.
he's good, but I think again, I think you that like playing him requires that you play a defend piece because it's just that 17 defense is not, it's
Well,
not going to
yeah, you
cut
got to
it.
play like the Hal Jordan. But what I'm saying, like against the Morloon, that's probably the counter to a point because like you scored 30 points, I think, right? Or I don't know how that guy reads. Or I think if you score less, if it's the character's 30 points or less, you score 10.
Oh, does he have the reap ability? Let's see.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's some
Yeah,
collect.
I believe he does have the reap thing. Yeah.
Because I was thinking about playing that guy. I don't think he's bad. Yeah, Cosmic Rider, not Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah, 30 points, scored 10 victory points.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's not bad. Like I said, the other thing too though, I think um is that Morlun does the same thing and is more consistent than Cosmic Rider. Saying that let's say so if I'm playing Morlun, right? And it's like, okay, if Cosmic Rider KOs a bystander, you get 10 points. But if you are also playing Morlun and your Morlun or your Morlun's bystanders KO my Morlun bystanders, you get 15 points. So you actually get more points if you also play Morlun.
Oh, so why wouldn't you just play both of them? This seems like that would be a good combination to play both.
That's a lot of modern points right now. And currently,
Oh, you're
Cosmic
right.
Rider doesn't also generate bystanders and things like that. But again, it's a lot of modern points. If there wasn't a floor, then perhaps. But like I said, I think I got to see what happens at Adepticon because there is no floor at Adepticon.
Well, what about Champion Clicks? I mean, there's a lot of events leading up to Champion Clicks, and then you got Adepticon or whatever.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying Champion Clicks, there's still going to be they're keeping the silver floor. You have to play 200 points of silver. But at Adepticon, they're running a 400 Silver Age pulp event, but there is no floor. There is no. You can play all 400 points of modern pieces.
Oh, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone play like Guardians of the Galaxy because it doesn't. That's like a really good team.
Right. Yes. And I agree. I was actually talking. Andrew and I were talking about that, and I said the only reason why you can't play Guardians of the Galaxy is because all of the good Guardians of the Galaxy are modern,
Yep.
and that is a very good core. Because, like I said, Drax is good, Cosmic Rider's good,
Star
uh,
Lord, and I think
Star Lord's good.
Cos-
Cosmo is wildly good, but they're all modern age, and then it goes, oh, it's more than 200 points. Sorry, you can't play it. So it's automatically banned effectively in that format. So I agree. If
that's gonna
the
be
silver
interesting.
floor goes away, that's just a team. It doesn't take away any viable teams, I don't think, because again, the teams that we played today are still good. Like if someone says, "Hey, does a Guardians team of all modern, does that make, the teams that we played today, does that make them obsolete?" No. I don't think so. I think the team that I played today against a Guardian team would do just fine. I don't think it would automatically win, but I think it would do just fine. And that's the best you can hope for.
Yeah, you're in line there because even like another team that I was thinking, well, would make it really good too was the that Loki that makes another Loki, and then it's like you have blades and prop, like you have a crap load of props. I think
That's
it's
the rally.
the Rally Die Loki, or I think there's another one that was good too. Yeah, but the rest is good. But it would be nice to see because even there's a lot of good figures for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like I say, Guardians of the Galaxy and what's the other one? Wakanda.
Yeah,
Wakanda
Wakanda's a good one.
has a lot of good pulp figures, but almost all of their good pulp figures are modern age. So I think that's another team that could come into the meta if you remove the silver floor.
Yeah, they neutered the Fantastic Four. I think that was kind of dumb. I think neutering them is not that wasn't really good. I mean, I guess the swap, the Fantastic Four got neutered. But yeah, we'll see. We will see. Because I was trying to make the rare Silver Surfer work.
Which
Because I
one?
think
Because that's
the Fantastic Four one.
the one that makes the bystander that you want it to die.
Yeah, the one to die, or the other one where, well, like the other thing that she does is she swaps.
She brings
So,
them over, yeah. If
yeah,
she's like next, if she can like,
yeah, not swap, but yeah, you bring them over, and then yeah, so you get across the map that way too. That was another way.
let's see, yeah, it's the Dawn Greenwood. Yep.
Yeah, that's another figure I wanted to play. I think he's good, but I think uh yeah, he died too quickly.
Yeah, he needs like more defensiveness and health.
Well, no, I just think like Matt was saying, right? If it's like an 18 to 9 or a 17, it's like I think Hal, like I said, I haven't had a bad time with Hal Jordan, but I feel like Hal Jordan should be on every team. I think having a 20 defense is very good, and I also feel that Ashley Barton should be on every team.
Yeah,
But
I'm finding it tough to think of a good, like a super reliable strategy, aside from time breakers, to deal with that. Like I said, because yeah, Hal Jordan plus Ashley Barton is like, oh, that's just there's
it's
not
not.
much. Like I said, you can pulse wave it, you can time breaker it, but other than that, yeah, it's tricky. I mean, you can always say, oh, you can just out with the defend. It's like, yeah, but you body block and you can't. There's no
Well,
there. I don't. There's not many outwit pieces that can see through
yeah,
characters.
because that was the thing. Like I said, that's why I chose the Crimson Dynamo. Was like he gets protected outwit for defense powers. So Jason friendly characters. I was like, well, this is probably the only way I could do it. But because even like Rob's like, why are you playing Crimson Dynamo? I'm like, it was the gimmick of that. It was a 22 defense you can't outwit. The only thing you could do is the pulse wave or time breaker. That was
Yeah,
really just the only gimmick.
and like I said, he's penetrating damage in pulp is really valuable, and he also
Yeah,
sees through hinder. So
I found that easily against Andrew like twice. Like I one shotted his the Bloodstorm. It was good. I was like, I need an 8 or better. If I get it, this guy's just dead. And the only reason he had the he would die is because with another character I feel like you should always play, giving an extra damage seems very good too. But
Yep.
I'm not trying to talk about my team like that. I'm just saying, like, I figured some of the key figures that I noticed that actually make a big difference.
Yeah, but
The
again,
figure
like,
that I'm gonna say lead here,
in-
good too.
so what was the most impactful outwit that you did with Leech?
It was against Doctor. It was against I think Frank. It was the Doctor Strange Supreme where I outwitted the Invincible, and then Ashley Barton took damage. So she was on the flurry click, and so I flurried, missed the first one, hit the time, and then Hammerhead for 6 damage. So I was like, holy crap, KO'd the Doctor Strange Supreme. But I just think what sealed it was it's you turn off the willpower, the cosmic energy, so they can't roll for willpower. And I think that was very, very good at that point. Um, so that's probably the most impactful thing that I did with Leech was it stopped the willpower and it got rid of the Invincible and Mystics was the other crucial thing that helped out. Because most of the figures I was playing against had Mystics.
Yep. Yeah, Mystics is also really impactful.
Yeah, because I was telling Andrew too. Like, I think if you're playing Leech, you have to play a team that you really don't care for TA too much or team abilities too much.
Yep.
Because I noticed that I'm like, man, I wish I could roll super senses, but my own Leech is killing me.
My own Leech is killing.
Then might get your rollout.
Yeah, fuck, dude. That's wild.
Well,
Yep.
what are you guys hoping for Hero Clicks looking forward?
I'm
In
on
a
the
whole
Venom set right now, man. That's where I'm at right now. I messaged
so we
Newmark. I
not
was like,
quitting, Miguel? We staying?
Mac made a convincing argument. So then I was like, all right, I guess I'll just keep playing. But not as much. Like I wanted to go to Adepticon, but not as much. It's not that serious. Cause I could do something else on the week. Well, that whole week of vacation anyway. But yeah, convincing argument, like you said, of the Venom set, so I don't have to worry about going to events, this and that. Then unfortunately, man, it's like the Batman set. That's another set you want to get because, my God, equipment, dude. That's the golden. That's always been the problem, dude. Like, if a set has equipment, you have to get the equipment.
Yeah, if it's not a physical character, it's the best that to come.
Even like God Killers, I think it's still like bucks.
Yeah, but that's right. It's like
Equipment
you can just
and
get a full set of equipment when it's set. When everybody's opening packs and the set kind of is like a week after release or something, you just buy a full set of equipment. Before the equipment gets expensive because it's like regardless of what the equipment is
you should own
after
all equipment.
then I'm saying like after the following set comes out, all of those equipment like jump up in price like crazy. Like I'm like look at like
Well,
Collector's Trove, right? So when Collector's Trove came out, the universal weapon that comes with the freaking the Kree dude, whatever his name is, like
Yeah, Ronan.
everybody had everybody had more than one, but then all of a sudden now it's like if you want to go buy a universal weapons, like you're gonna be spending $30+. Whereas before people were selling them for like, I think it was like $12 with the
No, they
equipment,
went
you
down to
know?
like $5-10. Like people are just
Yeah,
trying to get rid of them.
exactly. And now it's like, oh, it's $30 because it's an equipment thing. And it's like, yeah, you know. So I think it's just like you buy a set of equipment and that's it. And then you're done because like I said, that way you're not waiting, going, 2 months later and saying, oh, like I said, I have to buy a $30 freaking universal weapon. I have to buy a $40 Mjolnir. I have to buy a $40 or $30 Stormbreaker or what, it's like
Yeah, even
that
even the ones that
that's
seem like they're
equipment.
trash, like you still gotta get like just
Yeah,
in
because
case.
even like, yeah, because you never know. Even but the problem that I have right now, and this is like, I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this. The vault boost equipment is gonna be a big.
I think
That's
the
it's
vault
not a
boosters
you can't
shouldn't
easily.
even be a thing.
If you're gonna do vault boosters, that's fine. But when it comes to equipment, that's where it becomes a problem. The secondary market is gonna be through the roof because I was talking, see how much the vault boosters cost, and it's like, okay, for them, well, like, so I'm sure it's probably lower, but the price that I was told for them is $40 a pop. I'm sure the boosters are
That
probably
sounds
20,
right.
or I'm sure the boosters are like $30 or whatever, 20, $30, and they're trying to make a little bit of profit, which I get it. But I feel like this is going to be a problem in the sense that not everybody's going to be able to get them. And if it's like, if they're really that scarce, oh my God, the price is going to go through the roof. Luckily, I have
Yeah.
10 on order. I'm probably going to get.
And
I
on
think
order,
I
Jesus
think I put
Christ.
2 on order. It was either 2 or 4. I forget how many I put.
Well, they just asked me how many I want. I was like, yeah, I just said, give me 10. And he's like, well, you might not get 10. I was like, yeah, we'll see what happens.
It's just more stuff. Same thing.
After we said this, Matt's fucking this Discord or recording from YouTube is gonna get flagged.
For
Flag for
what?
what?
They're gonna say, okay, so which stores are selling this shit? We need to go investigate. So I'm looking forward to the Venom set. I'm like I said, I'm gonna get the factory stuff from that. So we'll see. I mean, Kari told him just give me that and go from there. But yeah, fuck, the ball boost is gonna be a problem, dude. It's gonna be a problem. And then we're looking forward to Matt's event next week.
Yeah, for the same thing again. It's like, no, but I
Well,
think
that's
that
like
the main difference is that there is no way in hell I am no way am I going to run 5 rounds of top cut of 4. That's ridiculous. People need
bro.
to get home.
I told that to I told Rob. I was like, man, these aren't bad events. The problem is the same LEs. And he's like, his argument was, well, not the argument, his response was well, you can only get these LEs through Worlds, and then these events. But I was like, Rob, I understand that. I think for me, right? Like I've seen the same LEs for these multiple events. I'd like to see something more new besides this Green Lantern.
Yeah, it's
Something
cool
different.
for the little groups that places all these places. But when you like actually are just playing multiple different locations, like there's not really a reason for you to go to multiple different locations.
Yeah,
Is
because the
I think what you're
resale
trying to say,
value of these
Miguel.
LEs. What's up?
I mean, dog.
Well, yeah,
Nothing. Go on.
yeah, because I was gonna say the resale value. You're not gonna get the money's worth out of them. Like you have to make this like Batman, say, whatever, but no one because everybody has it.
And it's
Yeah, I
also
mean that's
really
the thing.
bad.
It's like I've been undercutting. I think it's just people are uh what is this? It's called like it's like price anchoring. So after the after the first couple uh IC regional events, a lot of people that were posting spacesuit Batman for like they started them at like $75, right? A bunch of people were putting them for $75. So then sold Batman plus Arctic Batman, plus Kanto plus I was like 5 different LEs. I put them all together, but I told them I said they're not gonna be shipped in the box. I'm gonna take them out of the box. So that way, if somebody wants to buy it just to try to resell it for more profit, it'll be more difficult, But I said I'm gonna take them out of the box. But I sold all of them just for $80 because I'm like, if everybody online is seeing, one piece for $75, and all of a sudden I got 5 pieces for $80, all of a sudden they're like, whoa, like that's less than $20 each. And it's like, yeah, I'm like, well, look, like, I spent 25 or $30 on entry, you know, you get I already got a chase booster. I'll just sell the LEs, get $80, and there you go. My gas money is back, and I got a chase booster. So basically, I got a free. But is it the greatest money making opportunity in the world? No, but it's like I think it's just like you see the posts that other people are making, the prices that they're asking for, and then you just like a group. Like, here's a bunch of pieces, and I will ask for like $5 or $10 more than someone else is asking a single piece. And man, I had I made the post, and then I went out for life, and I got to and my phone was blowing the fuck up. I was like, damn, stop messaging me, people. Like, I got it.
Yeah, the wife's all mad. Can't have a nice quiet dinner.
I was like, people want to buy my hero clicks. What am I supposed to do?
Man, hey, here's the funny thing about like doppelganger. You know how you got a legacy card or whatever, that rare or the super rare.
Yeah.
Guess how much I paid for one?
$5.
This one they got $10.
Not bad.
Too expensive.
Not bad. I was like, well, hopefully he's good.
His stats aren't bad, so hopefully not that bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
hoping
hoping
for.
Venom Space Knight ain't absolute doggy water.
I have him too, man. I think he's gonna be dog water. I hope the Venom Iceman.
He's the one that
They're
I
probably gonna
have a
drop him
feeling
5
is like
points.
the best shot.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the best one. Barrier that can't be destroyed, or barrier that gives you, I don't know, some other goofy shit. I don't know.
He's just gonna be a water Clintar symbiote generator. That's all he sees.
It's not gonna be a barrier no more. It's gonna be just a water terrain. That would suck. I'm generally
That's
curious,
another thing to
man. Matt,
bring
did
up.
you get
Is
to try
bring up
some of
this
the
whole
legacy cards?
symbiote shiz. So I wanted to bring up the fact that it feels like they're trying to fix clicks in a way from being as this, annoyingly just alpha strikey, and you hope that you survive kind of ordeal. A Venom set kind of seems like it's countering that whole alpha strike
Well,
feel
we're
with
not supposed to do that.
Yeah, not only are the one shots, but I mean the terrain, the symbiote terrain also seems like it's really damn good. Like, deletes the flight from characters. You can't be placed, and I believe that's at the beginning of the turn. It just says as long as the character its turn or just for like the rest of its turn. So even if you get it off the space, it still can't be TK. It still can't, whatever. Which I think that's, I don't know. I just feel like that's insane.
I agree. I think it's gonna definitely affect.
It's gonna affect
Um,
the meta.
yeah, it's definitely gonna affect how people have to think about alpha strikes. But I'm glad that
Yeah.
there's more effects that uh take away improved movement, because I think what most people are hoping for with this is like, yay, I'll be able to use this on Prime Rogue. It's like she won't be able to guaranteed come across the map and just delete two pieces. you know, so we'll see. But I'm hoping it sees enough play and makes a big enough impact that it's definitely not Traffic Barrel, is good, but I
Yeah,
think Traffic Barrel was too good. So uh
but you could
much more
also play like
strategic.
up to three of these things.
Right, but I don't know if that's necessarily good. I think there's so many other good terrain, like Sentinel
100%,
upper
I agree with that.
body, Sentinel head, phone booth, heart shape herb. Like some of those are just so good that I don't know if uh
I definitely don't think it's
you'll
three.
them.
I 100% see one, but I also like there's a chance that two might as well be good.
I can see some teams playing two, but definitely one. I don't think it's one of those game elements that get more powerful the more you play, but I could be wrong. Maybe playing three of them is like, holy smokes,
And
it's
just
wildly good.
completely
Um,
destroying the map.
I don't. Yeah, like I said, we'll see. But like I said, I definitely agree that it's like I said, it changes how, like you said, changes how you think about the Alpha Strike turn. Let's see, these things, they're on HC units, right? Let's see. Let's
Yeah, I
find
think
them.
that the Clintar symbiote is like the most insane out of the three symbiotes. Giving out an additional target is insane to any character. That I don't know. That just seems really crazy to me.
Let's see. Where is this thing? Where is it? Here it is. Symbiote surface, right? Yeah. Let's see. It's an effect terrain. So the thing about though, it's an effect terrain. Place it 5 or more squares away from a starting area, and then you generate the slime within 4 squares, meaning you won't be able to generate it inside the starting area um,
Yeah.
right away. So you won't be able to, like, if you go first, it's not like, oh, haha, I went first, so I automatically put the slime underneath your rogue.
Well,
So
one
yeah, I
hundred
mean,
percent, yeah. But there's ways to get a character to TK it into your opponent's area.
right, yeah, but that would be after you've already made the slime water terrain. So
Well, no, I'm
and
saying you
then
TK the water terrain, the slime water terrain.
I see. Okay, yeah, right. It's water. You move it. Yeah,
It
but
wouldn't
then
be like
you're, but
I
then
mean,
you're
obviously there's you got to build to do that, but I mean, it's not the hardest thing to do. And I mean, as long as they just start in it, it's they have no ability to counter it if they're going um for their alpha. There's no way, as long as you could get it underneath a character, there's no way they could counter it. And especially if you could get a character that's cheap and you're okay with them dying and it just nullifies their like big alpha, I think that's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just probably better just to pick it up. Like pick symbiote surface up with a super strength character. And then just so that effectively the character is the one spitting out a slime within 4
Yeah.
squares. So they're like they have to kind of they have to basically KO the character, but if you're if the character holding it is again something like Prime Rogue or whatever, it's like, okay, that's annoying.
But I mean, it's 0 points, and it like during the entire game, it will affect your opponent. I think that's. I mean, it gets rid of move through characters, so just spitting that out randomly under your opponent's characters really hurts. Even when the game is prolonged after alpha, like
Yeah,
not being
no,
able to move through
yeah,
characters, not
100%. That
having
is, it makes plasticity characters have extraordinary value
Mhm.
because you're just like, yep,
It also says that you can't run through my blocking anymore.
yes, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Barrier gets value. Plasticity gets a lot of value. Yeah, like I said, I think it's definitely you want to carry this thing. Yeah, I think you want to carry it because or, it's like I don't want my opponent just shooting this with 3 damage and then getting rid of it. What else? Obviously, the equipment, Venom's axe and the Necro Spear are both really good.
I still think Clintar Symbiote's the best equipment. The amount of characters that I think benefit insanely from getting an extra target is
Well,
insane.
that's not an equipment, is it? That's when he just goes on the
Well, no,
card,
but
right?
I consider it like an equipment to me. It's like
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they're
it's
kind of
yeah. They can be equipped and have this. So
It's like giving an extra
yeah,
target,
exactly. So
whatever.
you could kill it, gain an extra lightning bolt shape change, and I think
yeah,
poison, and
shape change.
then
Yeah,
you also could gain the equipment.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty good. No, I was joking earlier today too, talking with people about Venom's axe, and they're like, "Why are the best equipment for range characters like melee weapons?" And you're like, "I'm gonna give this range character an axe, and then now he's strong because I can shoot
Well, it
you
doesn't
and hit the guy
work.
next to you."
Oh no, it's that one that doesn't do that.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to playing Null. I'm really looking forward to playing him. Even in yeah, no,
No.
I'm looking forward to playing.
Yeah, Nolan Silver 8 is definitely viable. Definitely viable. I mean, like the lowest attack value he has on his dial is an 11. So that's that right there is good. It's going to be good.
Well, I was looking even like Carnage. Like I mean, this is a lot of good stuff, man. I'm looking forward to this Venom set. Oh man, okay, the Chase Venom's pretty good. I didn't know that. That's not bad at all.
Clintar sucks. Just to put that out there, Clintar sucks.
I mean, he's fine if you play him with symbiotes, but I agree. It's unfortunate that he works for healing similar to like Umbrax or whatever, but um, but yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
like
just
am I really playing symbiotes Like, and how many am I playing? Because like the second they all die, it's like now this. I also just give my opponent 40 points. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is Rex? What is his name? Rex Strickland. Is Rex Strickland good enough, even in modern play?
I don't think he's modern. That's fit of
I
just
think
to give.
I think he's decent. I think giving the Capri just seems pretty good.
I agree with that, but I mean, he's gaining flurry, and then
Itself,
symbiote
which
keyword, right?
will
Yeah,
self
it's
also
just
too is
like, but what
crucial.
else are you putting on there? Like, that's a lot. That's already 90 points.
Well,
Well,
play
actually, I'm
two
saying
big
then
And
you
you're
clubs.
how you would play a Clintar team. So in order to play Clintar, I think you'd play Rex, so that way you can just use other soldiers.
Yeah, I
So that
think
way
that's
you're not
probably the best way to
playing
do it.
just plain symbiote.
Yeah, like I said, because I was looking at Chase Venom right now, it makes Sinister Syndicate pretty good. Plasticity and shape change. That's just pretty funny as shit that you get both. Yeah, he's not bad though. Chase Venom is not bad, but I don't think he's a make it or break it. I mean, at 50 points, he's not bad. I just don't think you'd ever play him at full dial.
I think Venom Horse is really good.
Actually, that's what I was just actually going to bring that up. I was, I know in our discussion with Andrew about it, but I think that
With Animal Man, we should specify that with him.
well, no, I'm saying I think with there's just as we mentioned, there's so many things that are good with it. Like you could play it as a straight like deal damage character. You could play it as a support character. You could play it as a somewhat, you know, like annoying support killer character. 'Cause like he mentioned, like I said, if you just put a free Venom axe on him, it still works. Like you can still, hit people even with
Yeah,
Quake and
I
just,
agree with the Venemax
you
thing,
know.
but I feel like you're wasting the Venemax at that point. Like that feels
Well,
like a lot
I,
of points to
I'm
just
saying I'm
deal
saying
around
like
with equipment.
let's say you build a team, you have exactly 60 points left, you throw Venom Horse on, yeah, then you just put the axe on him. It's free, and it's not like I said, it's not bad. Like you mentioned, it's like yeah, like okay, I can hit your main, dude that okay, yeah, he has impervious or invincible or whatever. He won't take that. Oh, but your support character standing next to him, like you said, like your Predagaton or something. Oh yeah, he's dead because he's also hit by the attack. And it's Quake, so you take two, knock back one, and then you're out. I think that's pretty decent. Like I said, I think even though in our group we haven't seen it be played that often, but there is other groups of HeroClix that, um, especially overseas, they use Freya a lot to be able to shut down all opposing probability control. And
That's
Yeah, it's like
one
every
thing
time I
you're
look at
right.
like a
yeah,
Yeah.
any event that's not from the US, it's like Freya top fucking 7 teams. I'm like, what?
yeah, and I'm like, well, there's where all the Freyas went, but no, but it's like you see, like she can put in all, like just turning off probability control is really good. And now it's like not only it's that, but it's also perplex. That's pretty nice. Like the, yeah, it's I think that's pretty nice. It's a way to, like it's just neck people, um, saying that they can't use perplex just to turn off the duration of it or reset the duration of it is nice. Yeah, I don't know. I like that there's so many different use cases.
Wow. The Carnage Electra is really, really good. That's a
Well,
prime,
send
but I
it,
mean,
brother.
I mean, I like both trade, but got my attention. When an opposing character heals after resolutions, give them a target token. Friendly characters with targets, the target trait has treat that token as regenerated by that trait. So anytime you heal, you get a target token. That seems pretty damn good.
Well, yeah, when an opposing character heals, yeah, they get a target. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you could trigger that with Black Flash. You could trigger that with the new one shot. You could trigger that with Heart Shape Herb for as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's pretty. I think that's pretty good.
Well, let's see. She's got hypersonic speed when she uses it. After resolution, deal 1 damage to each opposing character she moved through.
For characters, I mean, I just think that's not bad.
I mean, free damage is free damage, but like,
I don't see. Yeah, I'm not seeing that though. 60 points for that.
I'm not saying like okay, it's meta bust. I'm just like it's decent. Like
if assassins were actually good, if
they got. Do you see they got
Violent Crime?
Yeah, Poison Doom is just underwhelming, dude. I'm tired. They're making Dooms.
They got who?
You'll never see the attack power unless you take damage.
Ew, that's like a gross ass sculpt. I ain't gonna lie.
It's the same way. Here's the other thing that gets me. Where's the match? Not Masters of Evil. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I can't even think of it right now. But that team ability, Minions of Doom. Where's the Minions of Doom TA? Nowhere to be found. How you gonna mastermind but no Minions of Doom?
Who actually remembers their Minions of Doom TA, Miguel?
I do.
I don't remember you ever saying, "Oh, Minions of Doom."
Well, no, I'll mostly die by the time I get to that point. I'm telling them, Doombots, bro. Those are the ones that make the attack. It's never Doom. It's always the Doombots.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, Poison Doom. I think Poison Doom is good. It's just pricey. He's good, but he's pricey. Let's see what we got. What's the other one? Meridius. That's another new one. What do we got? Symbiote thing. He's got sidestep. At the beginning of the turn, you may place Meridius and another friendly character with the symbiote keywords in each other's squares. Okay, so he can just swap spaces at the beginning of the turn. And then his low dial is at the beginning of the turn. If there's no D6 on his card, you can roll a D6 and place it on his card. A character within range or attacks or uses shape, you can move it. Oh, holy smokes! It's die replacement
for 50 points.
For 50 points, my guy. I mean, come on, that's a lot. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I'll
but I'm
say
saying
this: it's a better figure because it's better than Immortus.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I won't lie. This could proc a. You know how wild this is to say.
I can see this
having
play.
This could proc the T-Rex.
Yeah, I could see this having. Oh my god, you don't need a line of fire, dude. Oh,
it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter when what's it called? It doesn't matter what you roll for the D6 because if you roll high, it's like okay, that either guarantees that you hit, or it guarantees that you get shape change, and then if you roll low, it guarantees that the opponent misses, or it guarantees that the opponent fails shape change. Oh,
yeah. I could see this guy being played.
Yeah,
he's not.
Is there any defensive equipment you could give him?
Oh, there you go. He's passed. Give him that shield TA, so you got that 8 range.
But is there any like defensive equipment you could give the guy?
I don't know. He's got a rollout. I mean, what else would you give him?
What else would you want? Like you wanting
Animal Man? I don't know.
I don't think he's worth Animal Man though.
I mean, I'm looking at like you play Tri-Sentinels and then you have a Wand Agent. And then you got an 8 range that way. I think that's pretty funny. Then if you play against like I guess you get to splash in a Lucas Pog, and then you don't feel
Does
as
anyone
bad
make anyone with the symbiote keyword make cheap Pogs? Or like a cheap Pog generator character?
On Silver Age, you got Mary Jane. No, I think she's got Codex.
Yeah, specifically like modern. Because you could TP this guy right into the perfect spot every time.
Yeah, I think Matt's right. I think you'll probably see this guy being played. I don't see why you wouldn't play it because that's not bad.
Like I said, it's
especially
it's a risky 50 points, but I think also too, like in Silver Age, that is a very strong effect for you just to be able to effectively teleport wherever you want. Swap with another symbiote, and that's a really good D6 effect.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw Q Prime, and no one touches Q Prime, and he does like the same thing.
Q Prime, no one wants to pay $200+ to play a Q
even
Prime.
the people that I should specify he's expensive. Even if everyone pretty much had the chance to play him, I still don't like the people that do have him. Don't even play him, except for Miguel.
Well, there's a big difference. Q Prime dying in one click with no reducer is a huge difference between that and someone that doesn't have a reducer.
And he's got a roll on it. That's
yeah. Because like for example, like again, using the team that I was using, like okay, Phoenix Thor just says deal 1 damage. Q Prime's dead. That doesn't happen with Meridius.
No, and the other thing too, it's like he's not gonna get shot right off the back either.
Yeah.
You have to be within his within 4 squares.
We have to be farther away than 4 squares.
Oh, farther away.
I'm sorry.
Squares. Well, I'm saying you could go up close or you could be farther away. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, but if anybody's close, then you can't shoot them with anybody. So.
Yeah, I feel like I think you're right. I think this guy will see play. He's got the pass keyword, so that's already good as
pass.
That
means he's Avengers.
He's Avengers, yeah. And then you could play the Hawkeye. So then everybody has.
So he's got. Everyone's got shield. Everyone's got.
So you have innate range.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. What the? Oh shit! Okay, Noel's also passed. I didn't know that.
Hold up.
Symbiote Soldier.
Oh my god! You can play with it too.
Yeah, that Rexon.
So yeah, that's crazy. Past Avengers Soldier.
Yeah. This guy's probably. What do you guys think? A tier? Well, I'm not doing like a I shouldn't say tier major, but I don't know. I
think this is. I think he's like B or C tier, probably C tier in modern, and then he's.
I'd put him at
Silver.
B tier.
I think he's like probably B.
Nah, I'd say he's B. I don't think A is like Kellen. I think B.
I think B.
But so what about the
legacy and then C and Silver?
What about the legacy anti-venom that just turns off powers doesn't even need to hit anybody. He just looks at somebody and they're turning off all their powers.
Oh, bro.
I mean, he just walks by and crops dust to you. That's all he does. He doesn't actually do anything.
I don't know if you remember there's like that the meme edited clip of the Spider-Man where they're like, "See you later, Stinky," and then he jumps and farts and.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That's him. That's him right there.
Yeah, that's exactly anti-venom. See you later, Stinky. And you're like, what the heck? Why do I got no powers?
Oh my god.
I think anti-venom is.
I think he's good. I think he's meta.
Yeah, I think he's busted. I mean, I definitely think that he needs.
Yeah,
obviously
Animal Man.
Like a turn. You have 1 turn to kill him. If you don't do that, you kind of just get shit out.
But even then, even though you say you have a turn to kill him, I think if you're alpha striking, again, like you said, like, okay, alpha striking him and actually killing him is not with Animal Man. It's not super
no.
easy. Yeah, I mean, it's like because you're just going to be saying, okay, I either have invincible or whatever. So
You could
you're like, okay, you
easily
have to
make it
outwit.
where it forces them to use all their alpha to just kill him because of how many clicks he has.
I just don't like the fact he can get a rollout, dude. That's what I don't like. They didn't give him like a trade to like go shape change or something like that. It just that's all you get is
No,
that.
you know, he doesn't need it, man. He doesn't
I'm
need
just
that.
He
I'm just
doesn't
like,
need it,
come
but I do
on.
agree with
Or
Miguel when
even
I
like
looked at it.
support,
I'm like,
dude.
wait, he's a symbiote, but he doesn't have shape change.
He doesn't
What?
even have like support. Anti Venom's all about healing, this and that. Like, give him
He gets
support.
he
I
has
mean, you get
support.
it later, but
He has it. He's got it on his old clip, so
oh,
you
they
can't.
traded at
You
3,
He's
know,
dude.
got it on
Who's gonna pay?
clicks 4 and 6.
Yeah, only 2 clicks.
so what?
Oh,
The
my
whole,
What
like I
do
God.
you
said,
used
I
to
just
do?
just
That's actually
no.
a good question.
if you are just basically
I-
like
What
if
what
you
did
have
he?
double TK, you TK anti venom, get some perplex, throw them over, hypersonic, look at
Oh, you don't
somebody,
even have to do
turn off their
that.
power.
Hold up. You don't even have to do all that. You just play the Phoenix bystander with Zal Jor-El, and that's how you bring anti venom across the map, and that's how you solve that issue.
Yeah, but I don't know if Zala is the
I mean,
right
you
play
got to
because
hit.
Zala
I
has
mean,
to
it's
hit.
something, bro. It's
That's
something.
what I'm saying.
You
It's because Zala has to
first
hit
off,
first.
Miguel, to just also say that if you are taking an attack action to get him across the map, you've now wasted an attack action on something that actually has defense powers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you're not
that's
gonna
what I
go
was saying.
for
Like
something. I don't know. It just seems like if you have a good follow up, this is probably the way to do it. Or for
yeah, and the
example,
best follow up I think is
here's
Prime Rogue. You
well
just you
here's
look at
Yeah,
somebody and then
Prime Rogue.
Prime Rogue deletes
well
them
hear
because
me
they
out
hit.
on this, right? So what if you just play Tri Sentinels?
Well, that's another thing too. Yeah, you can
Like
just
you bring
look
him
at
over.
somebody.
The guy who has invincible is the one you want to KO. You attack. Okay, Tri Sentinels just do their thing, and you're just dead.
Just walk up and then just penetrating, just damage. Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely think that Tri Sentinels are going to be in Florida
and
and
the
Adepticon.
and the thing is, your opponent can't. It's like they can't do anything about it.
Well, that's what
You
I'm
can't.
saying. Like this would be probably the way to do it then.
It's just it's guaranteed, quote unquote guaranteed. I mean, granted, barrier kind of you can't get around barrier, but there's so many other things. Like if you're already playing Tri Sentinels, you can just walk through all the barrier. So what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? It's like I look at somebody, they have no powers, Tri Sentinels just walk up and they deal damage, and I'm not rolling dice technically. Anti venom, like you could still hit them. You could, you know,
I mean, hit him
but
for
you
that
don't.
4 damage with Zala.
Yeah, but you don't even care. But you don't even care if he hits or not. You just go up, and then all the Tri Sentinels walk up, and then the person's dead, and you didn't roll dice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you hit the guy who has invincible or whatever the case may be. That's the one you target. But I just think it's funny. You can play with Tri Sentinels. Ah, fuck. Maybe I should have kept the 6 that I had, and I downsized to 4.
Mistakes were made. Mistakes were made.
At one point I had 6. I'm not gonna lie, and I was like, okay, I think that's too much. And then
No,
talking,
I told you should have got 8. That's what I told you. You should have got 8 of
I
them.
screwed up. I should have just kept it. I should have kept the other 2. I screwed up.
Well, let's see. Like I said, CCO gave us that Tri Sentinel, whatever picture saying, "Oh,
Oh,
Tri
Rob
Sentinel."
was against that, dude. He said there's no way it's happening. I was like, I don't know, man. They're showing some stuff. You never know.
We'll see. I don't know. If I think they got to do something. They can't show us Tri Sentinel and then we get to Florida and they go, no, nothing's Tri Sentinel. We'd be like, what the fuck did you post that picture for then? Like trying to just yank our chain?
Trying to
Like,
troll us.
I
You're in the
just
box.
saw that and I just
Trying to,
scrolled past it, thinking it was some random jamoke on the players and collectors around the world. That was TCO.
Some
What if
random Chipotle.
what if there's like, okay, hey guys, for however many Tri-Sentinels you KO, you get a point. I could see that. Like it adds to like a secret prize or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no way they have to give out Tri-Sentinels or the Legacy card or both as a prize. You don't
They're gonna
post
give you
that.
the figure. They're not gonna give you the legacy card. I don't think they would.
They should get, like I said, just get WizKids to print them a stack of Legacy cards and just start handing them out to everybody.
If it could
Like
happen,
I
I
said,
would
my
be very.
ideal thing at the fan at the association, they said the dinner they're going to give you an LE that's worth the price of admission, which that's the Black Lantern ring, and then they said there's also going to be a WizKids fan appreciation night, and their WizKids is going to give out prizes that you will be shocked to get. That's what they said. I would be shocked to get a Tri-Sentinel and Legacy card. That's what I would be shocked to get. So there you
Imagine
go.
it's
That's what it
Tri-Sentinel
means.
Legacy and to go with it.
I think on the cake, everybody gets a Venomized Chase booster from the Venom set. I would be shocked. I'm like, holy shit! I'd be like,
Yeah, exactly.
but
Yeah, but
we'll see.
like we'll see.
How it
We'll
goes,
see what
man.
happens.
And it's Arctic Batman.
I would be so upset. I'm like, damn, dude. You're telling me I spent all this money for an Arctic Batman and I just won for free? Well, I mean, technically paid entry, but yeah. God damn, dude. That would be some shit. I don't know. I don't even feel like I want to play the tone that was like the that Mystic team or whatever. I don't even want to play that. I want to play something different. Well, it is different, but I won't play number because I haven't practiced at all.
No, but I agree. Like I think, like I said, play something different. But as we like, you just play like and then just something else. Just to see how it does.
Yeah, because like I said, it wasn't bad, dude. I think, like I said, I think in theory it was good, but what I realized is like in the pulp, it's like, man, if you don't have a high attack, dude, it's like, man, you got to roll 8, and that's like, ugh, it's not doable, man. But
I
we'll figure
agree.
something
That's
out.
why I
Something
like.
out.
That's why I like the bystander team. When I have 14 or 15 bystanders, just the only hitting like without nothing. Right.
Even like
Any
CCO,
other
but we'll
figures
see. We'll
that have
figure.
been revealed that are worth talking about?
I don't think
No, I think
so.
it's the same thing. The Prime Electro I think it's decent if you're doing a gimmick with the target or the assassin crap. I think that's not bad, but overall,
Spider Boy,
yeah, you sound like
the
a
character that
creeper
has
when you said
spoon,
that.
basically.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, huh, they reprinted Shield Wolverine. I see. Like,
Oh, yeah, Shield Wolverine, yeah.
bro, I wish I got to play that with the poison ring. Oh no, I wish.
Yeah, because ideally, characters will never begin the turn adjacent to Spider Boy. So
They shouldn't, at least. No.
yeah, because he's got wall crawlers. So if you're smart, you'll always have a square to replace him, even if they surround him with plasticity figures. Even if their plasticity doesn't matter, he's
Yeah.
got leap
So like
climb.
the only thing. So my thing is like I was thinking about it like you just pick like a perfect map, give this boy the poison ring, and then you just proceed to bounce and bounce. And if you ever come adjacent, you're taking damage.
What would be? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you can use it twice. if they target a Spider-Man family guy, or not, or just a Spider-Man team ability guy, it
Now, does that
seems.
also include if you team player it?
No, doesn't include
So
team
they actually
player.
have to have it. All right.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, what's the let me tap the Spider-Man family thing and see what are the good Spider-Man family figures in modern age right now that people would
In
use.
modern age
Well,
right now, I don't think anyone touches almost any of them.
Yeah,
I
no one's
think
playing
like
the
You
Captain
got like
I think
Universe.
Prime Spider Ham.
I think maybe like Pulp. He's probably really good in Pulp because just not basically not being able to be targeted in Pulp is insane. And then you could play figures like, let's see, well, Spider Punk. I mean, well, he's gonna pulse wave, so you wouldn't be able to prob him realistically.
Rare Spider Man from BP.
Yeah, and Pulp is probably good. Let's see, modern age. What else? I mean, the Thor Spider Man is not bad. Prime Spider Ham actually
I
does see
think in
play.
modern age, I think it's just Spider Ham Prime. That's it.
I mean,
I don't
that's
think
not
you're
bad
going
either,
for
though.
anything.
It's not bad. I mean, or yeah, the 35-point Spider-Man from the Spider-Man the 400 set. That's
Oh,
good.
that one. I forgot that guy existed. Yeah, that guy's really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's what
Uh,
Spider Boy's 40 points. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's definitely got potential. It's, having a piece that basically says they can't be targeted and they can use prob twice. It's kind of like having like a planet figure, because that's kind of what it is. Like he can never be targeted until everyone else is dead.
If
So
anything, better than a easy actually get used every turn.
yeah, he's got a lot more mobility, and there's no requirement on where he's got to be on the map. Yeah, I think yeah. Like I said, I think he's definitely good in pulp. Definitely good in pulp. Modern age, we'll see. It has to be other really good stuff, and there is a
Oh, Maker.
couple of
I
them,
forgot
but
Maker. I think Maker's good.
well, you think Maker is
All
good. So.
maker.
I should say that he's good in pulp. Yeah, I will agree with you that he kind of falls in that category with Shuri, but I still think he has more value than Shuri gives.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the character, because I think if it's somebody like, let me see here. Let me go back to Maker, so I'm make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. Where is he? He's right here. So it's looking at the symbiote prototype. Yeah, shape change. When this character uses it and fails after resolutions, heal them one click and destroy it. So I think, again, like, this is not to just harp on this thing, but like something like Moon Knight. Of course, with Moon Knight, you would rather give the symbiote prototype instead of a Shuri uh, equipment, because then it's like, oh, if I fail shape change, they're going to knock me to my stop click. But then after resolutions, I'll heal one click. That's incredible. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a win-win.
So
Well, that's
yeah.
what I
So I
said,
would
man.
say anybody with a stop click symbiote prototype, super good, super good.
But also, I
But
think
then
Maker is just a general piece in pulp is good. I mean, TK, Outwit, Sidestep. I mean, those are just inherently great things.
yes, yeah, sidestep TK is really good.
It's very strong, yeah.
He also makes the symbiote prototype for him as well, so he gets a rollout.
Oh yeah. Got some survivability to him.
Yeah, and his when he gives out the prototype, it's just anybody within 4 squares. You don't even need line of fire, which is also a little bit better than Shuri, who needs to be
Yeah, you don't have to
adjacent.
be adjacent. We also have symbiote keyword, so you got flurry.
No, the flurry thing is if you have both symbiote and soldier keyword.
Oh, that's right, and you only get symbiote from him. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man, I just think that, like I said, double cap peg, man, with Flurry just seems too good. Just seems too good enough to try out.
I don't know. I personally think if I was gonna do it, I'd be playing the Wolverine, dog. That Wolverine chase with Flurry. Ooh.
Why
He's
not
got
both?
that Wolverine has soldier.
Yeah, he fucking walks up there and he go boom.
He said, why not both? Yeah, Chase Wolverine. That's just still expensive. Yeah, I noticed not many people play that Wolverine though. You would think they would. 60 points, and he's not bad.
It's too it's too
He's
hard
got a
to
very
hit.
long dial.
His thing is like you want to play him with Animal Man because you don't want to have to play Gambit because Gambit's just bad for the points. It's like you're paying too many points just to have a viable attacker. I mean, granted, if your opponent groups all their stuff up, that's the other part. Your opponent groups everyone up, you just nuke it all.
Well, that's a funny thing. Cable could get the Prime Cable. He's a soldier too, but you would never give Flurry because that's just funny though. Well, I guess why not, right? He's not bad.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, you
know.
do give Flurry to Captain America, the one that makes everyone Avengers. So I mean, like that Cap actually becomes somewhat decent as an attacker.
Oh wow, even like the chase that Matt was telling me, Captain Marvel.
Oh, she's a soldier.
She's a soldier too.
Josiah X Prime Legacy.
Holy,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's not bad, dude. Because like, so for example, you could hypersonic speed. After that, you charge it free. So you charge
Yeah, and then she
flurry.
flurries. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's not bad for 60 points at low dial. That ain't bad at all.
Which one?
The chase from Smash and Destroy that we all thought she sucked. I mean, she's all right, but
I
No,
mean,
I'm
like,
just saying because she runs
oh
through
yeah,
blocking.
with
You know.
Flurry, holy.
Yeah. Like I
yeah,
said,
that's
she
three
hypersonic.
attacks.
Yeah. She shoots somebody 13 for 4, and then she charges, and then she got stealth. Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
And I mean, you could just give her Animal Man or whatever, and now she's got
Penetrating damage.
Exploit. Yeah, like, or even CCE, right?
Yeah, it's whatever you need.
I think
Spirit
that's
of
actually pretty
Vengeance.
good.
Spirit of Vengeance has it, but
Yeah, SOV gonna really be going in there.
yeah, no, he would
Yeah. I
never
mean, he
do it.
already he
But
already
yeah,
has he already has flurry. He just needs
I
charge.
flirt him, man.
yeah, I'm already looking at Captain Marvel. That's probably where I'm at right now. That's 3 attacks. That's not bad.
I
Yeah,
agree.
she might actually get played. Someone might actually try her out.
I'm telling you, like I said, people are already using her in silver. So
Wow, you can even give
Salifa.
the Goblin Army too,
the Goblin Army. Stealth for the Goblin Army.
or even Spider Punk. I could see it in Pulp. The Spider Punk has yeah, Spider Punk could do it too. That's not bad.
Yeah, like I said, plenty of good ones.
Plenty good
Plenty of good.
targets. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I don't know. feel like the team with the Tony Stark, the mystical team that I sent you, Matt. I don't know. I think everybody's gonna be playing the same thing, Nico, and same crap. Oh man, I just don't like that. No, let's work on that.
It is what it is. You know, people are gonna play whatever they're gonna play.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know about trick arrows on Tony though. I just feel like it probably something better than trick arrows.
Trick arrows are so good. They're like insanely, like criminally underplayed.
I just like the universal weapon, but I guess trick arrows is not bad. Well, we can't. I guess it's not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of just like whichever team that you are comfortable, having a bigger disadvantage against. It's kind of like, do you want to have a bigger disadvantage against Rogue? Do you want to have a bigger disadvantage against Spirit of Vengeance?
Because
Have
that's why
a bigger
disadvantage.
disadvantage
It was
by
a trick arrow
Sentinels.
against Prime, right? I fucking forgot why I
Well,
played.
there's
Why I put. I don't
two
know.
things.
See,
Like trick arrows, yeah, trick arrows do very well against Spirit of Vengeance, and then trick arrows can do well against Rogue as well, because um, hitting Rogue and then flipping the trick arrow of like Love is in the air to say that Rogue can't make an attack the following turn could
Yeah.
that could be really game changing. It could very well set up a turn where it's kind of like, hey, I need an extra turn to reposition some other characters, and that will just automatically give it to you. There's also the one arrow where you put Rogue adjacent to somebody else, and then Rogue gets a mobile, and that could also be the difference maker. But that depends if Rogue is on her first click or not, because you generally don't want to put her adjacent to somebody when she has that outwit power.
that makes sense. I just forgot why I was playing the trick arrows, dude. Like, well, that's the thing. I don't play as much as you guys do.
You act like I'm playing Modern Age every day or something. I play just
You act like I
just
even play the game
I mean, you
anymore,
guys play
Miguel.
more consistent than I do, man. I mean, let's just be real. I can't. I mean, besides today, when's the last time I played? It's been a hot minute.
the last time I've played a actual like Modern Age competitive game
Oh, see, now he's
was
adding stipulations.
Last time
yeah,
I
that's
played
what
a
I'm saying.
300
You're
modern
talking
game was
about
like
Modern Age.
I don't actually remember the last time I played. It's been so long. Like it was way before even when I played that Silver Age event.
Let's see. Actually, I think probably maybe you played 300 Modern more recently than I did, because you went to Illinois States.
Yeah, but that was like fuck. I can't even remember when was that? January, right?
Oh,
Or was it
yeah,
December?
sure, yeah. That was forever ago, right? Last month, yeah.
Man, that was a
But
while
again,
ago, man.
and I didn't even play then, so it's been more than a month, more than maybe 2 months that I've played 300 Modern.
Oh, look, all I said is I'm not playing consistent like I used to. That's all I said. Not as consistent, yeah, I can't even fucking say
Now,
the word.
what you said was that you don't play as often as we do, and I
Yeah,
don't
but then
think
you added like, oh, now it's competitive, all this. I was like, no, I'm just said in general. Like, I don't play as often as everybody else does.
I mean, to be honest with you, Miguel, you play more than me.
over the last month you've played more frequently than me. Like I said, you played at Illinois States, and then you played um
Today,
yeah, you played today, and then you're
and
also
that,
going to play
and that was
tomorrow.
it.
Or not
Well, are
tomorrow,
you
next week.
including the time that you've played at like Rick's and Harry's? Because like that, you also have to calculate that in because Miguel's not playing anywhere except for the events.
Well, let's think. So I played. There was there was an
See,
equal amount
now
of practice.
I
I
was
played
gonna
on
say you
I
don't
played
do that.
I played roll 20. I played roll 20 with Miguel. So that evens out. And then I played a practice game against Logan where I missed every single attack and Logan didn't miss any attacks. So I dealt a total
Yeah,
of like
nope.
0 damage. He just beat my team in 2 turns. I'm like, well, so much for that practice. I'm just losing 1
Damn,
turn. And then the same thing happened against Steve.
that's fucked up.
Against Steve, I missed all my attacks, and then Steve in 1 turn he beat me with Green Scar. He killed every single piece on my.
Damn,
Well,
dude, what? No,
he
no
killed every single
mercy.
attacking piece. In 1 turn. So I was like, well, I didn't really get much practice with modern because it was literally 1
Guys,
turn and my team was dead because I kept missing my alpha strike and I needed I think I needed a 5 or better or a 4 or better. No, I'm sorry, I needed maybe a 6 or better. I needed a 6 or better, and I missed all my alphas, and then I just died the next turn. So
bro threw rock when he should have thrown scissors.
so my practice has taught me the obvious of, maybe I need to roll 5 or betters instead of 6 or betters. Maybe then I'll start hitting the attacks.
Yeah, it
I don't
makes me
know.
feel like you should play the War
Just
Machine
like
now.
roll the average, Matt. Just come on.
I know. Can I just, man, one time,
Get
can I
those
just roll a
weighted ass
7?
Magneto and Umbrella dice. Get those weighted Punisher dice. Like Jesus, man. Get some of those.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, this is wild. Like I said, well, like I told you before, I was like part of the reason why I like what was it? Andrew was I was telling Andrew the same thing. It's like when you're buying more figures than actually using them. It's like it's the when it's like the worst thing of it because like you have stuff just sitting and there's no point to continue going. Like you have to really think like there's not many events that you could use all these figures. Like to this day I still have not used Flash Raptor to this day.
Dude, 90% of my collection I haven't touched.
It just sits there and it's like I feel that, and that's why I was telling you before, it's like it's kind of difficult, and it's like to keep playing a game you can't even use most of the stuff, and it's like, well, what the hell are you investing it for? But you made a valid argument. Well, just buy only the small things. We talked about this in about an hour or so about it, but I'm not gonna go in depth about that. But
No, but like I say, it boils down to, like I said, I made the decision, and I think anybody else that was feeling the same way, if they're like, hey, like you said, if you're in that boat of, I got, I'm like the incoming hero clicks that I'm getting over time is so great that I'm not able to use, say, the majority of the pieces that I'm interested in trying. Then it's just like, yeah, you got to cut your spending, and in the beginning it was a weird decision because I just got accustomed. I got used to, okay, new hero click set. Okay, I'm gonna buy a brick or buy a case every time. And it's just like, you don't know, you don't need to. Even if you only say like you mentioned, well, the Batman set has equipment. You're like, okay, even if you're like, you know what, I don't care about any figure in the set, I'm just gonna get all the equipment. And then maybe down the line, I'll pick up 1 or 2 pieces, you know, that
well,
I'm interested in.
here's the problem with the vault boosters, right? It feels like it's gonna be like extra when it's like a
The
short
Volt
print set,
boosters are
and
gonna
then
like be here to stay though. They're not like chase boosters.
I think they're just trying to do a different take on chase
They're
booster. I know they're not chase boosters, but they're doing a different thing
what
because it's a different brick incentive. It's a different brick incentive.
yeah, what was it called?
I feel like they should be included. If you're buying a case already, right? You're spending all this, for example,
they're
right?
like the
300
Deadpool.
plus. Well, that's what I'm saying. You're paying over, $350 for a case.
Yeah, but I mean, you're paying for the case. Like it's their right to not just chuck free shit on top of it. You know what I mean? Like, seeing it from their eyes, but like the way that I believe the vault boosters are gonna be like the kind of like how Deadpool and Hitmonkey were when they got released in their like little safe box, or like how pizza boxes were, if I'm correct. I believe that's how vault boosters are working. So they shouldn't be like too hard to obtain, to be honest with you.
The thing I hate, I'm working on an Iconics box right now, and I don't know. The thing I hate about Iconics boxes is the Velcro little stickers that they have in the corners that keep that.
saying that if you just vault booster, you're gonna the incentive to me.
Well, the problem is you don't know which ones you're gonna get.
What's up?
You don't know which ones you're gonna get because there's 4 different ones, and it's
no. I. But what I'm saying is, if you're buying a brick or case, you should be able to just get them with the case or brick. That's what I'm saying. I said you're already paying this enormous amount of money for a brick or a case. It should already be included to make value of your purchase. Because
I agree. I also think similar to how they like buy it by first it was buy it by the brick and then it was buy it by the case stuff. I think even if they increased it a little bit, because let's see, so like for example, is what is right. So let's say, for example, that they said, okay, if you want a vault booster, if you mail in like 30 PCs, right? So it's a little bit more than a case, but that would also incentivize players to just buy loose packs off the shelf. You know what I mean? Because they're like, oh, I only need a couple more UPCs. I'll just buy 2 packs, and then once you get to say 30, then you can send it in for a vault booster, for a free vault booster. On top of the fact that I said boosters should be sale. Like they should give it to the store and say, yeah, like you said, sell it for 30, 40 bucks, whatever. But hey, if you want a free vault booster, if you've already bought a case plus a couple extra packs, you can just exchange them, and just get a free one at that point, like you said, because if you already spent the money, you should just be getting it.
Yeah, because that's like my argument. That is the thing where like I feel that get your value for the product you're getting, right? But I don't know. I just think it's kind of dumb, and it sounds stupid coming from me after I ordered 10 vault boosters. I might only get 2, but the argument is I feel that if people are already spending $300+ on a case or even like a brick for 160 or whatever the case may be, they should have the option to get the vault booster. But I feel like some stores are going to do this where if, for example, you're buying the product anyway, like the brick and the cases from your local game store, what they're going to end up doing is they're going to order the vault boosters and keep them for pricing instead of just offering to the person that actually, hey, would you like the vault booster after you ordered a brick or a case or whatever the case may be. To incentivize, look at now we got like pricing for the events or whatever. But I just think that it should already be included. That's just what I'm saying.
All right. Well, I think it's just a good time to stop because we've been talking for a little while. So I think it's a good episode.
2 hours.
I don't know. Let's see. We started at it says
I don't think anybody listens to this
2 hours ago. Give a fuck if anybody listens to it or not. Who gives a shit?
Just us walking around, bro. Like,
yeah. Well, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see.
David Newmark, they're gonna reach out to Matt.
Just cut.
I listened to your episode.
Yeah, send this to WizKids. Send this to whoever, for all the
Oh,
Pulp
we're gonna get
information at the
flagged.
beginning.
I'll save it on a flash drive and I'll mail it to him. I'll be like, and I'll just put a little post-it note that says, listen
Yeah,
to this.
Miguel,
He'll be
who's
like, all
your
right,
hookup at WizKids again? What's her name? Send it to her.
Yeah.
send it to her.
Yeah, send it to your sugar mama, and then we'll get that shit out there.
Jesus Christ, dude! Like I tell you, why is one thing? You know, I still have an extra Arachnite card. Like I still have one because they sent me an extra by
Oh,
mistake. So I'm
oh
like
my
waiting to
goodness.
Oh, what
see
a
like.
bad problem to have.
Well, I'm waiting till someone says, "Hey, I pulled an Arachnite missing a card," and then selling it for like $70, and I'll just pick it up.
Miguel in 20 years. I still got it.
Well, that's not bad. If someone takes mine, I have an extra one. But I will say this though, I think like for the Batman set, I'm predicting this now because it happened with the Lantern Legacy. I think the Batman God of Knowledge is going to get a Legacy card.
Oh, don't even, dude. That's gross. That's
Well, look what
nasty.
happened. Look what happened with Green Lantern God of Light.
I don't think God of Knowledge is getting it, dude. That's just
Why wouldn't he? It would be.
because they've not. When have they legacied something from like the exact same set that's like a chase like rarity?
Why do I feel like the Iron Man from that that got Legacy? I'm trying to think. I feel
Like
like
I don't recall a set that's had two chases from it legacied.
well, we also said that Whiskas would never Legacy a Chase figure, and here we are.
Yeah, we also thought they'd never legacy a Prime, and well,
Well, here we are. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are
the
the
most
odds that it might
disappointing
not
thing in
happen?
history.
Like anything could happen. I'm hopeful because that would be interesting to see if they do that.
That guy, yeah, he's already so expensive right now, dude.
I know I picked one up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pick one up now.
You
Fuck
know
it.
who I feel like's gonna get it is Necron or whatever his name is. The one with like the blue suit with orange batarangs or something like that. From the what was that? Harley Quinn Gotham Girls?
Probably the one that I'm really, really hoping for, but it's never gonna happen. It's the Sinestro Batman or the Lamppost Batman. One of the two that'll probably never happen. But if anything, it would be nice to see.
I want
All right,
Flying
everybody.
Batman.
Go buy a nut butter, put it in your mouth, chew it up. Mm-mm-mm.